Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to make some trees. It's really fun and it's inexpensive. So stay tuned.
So let me show you the trees I made on the Copper King Mine and Railroad. I'll point them out to you. It's these right here. So, I mean, they don't look too bad. I kind of like them. I like the different variety I have of the trees on my layout. But a number of different types and brands. I'll tell you, you can never have enough trees. I would buy a pack of 30, then I would buy, it wouldn't make a ding, and then I would buy a pack of 50 and buy 200 trees. And anyway, here's the ones I made, and we'll go ahead and make them. Show you how I did it. This is really inexpensive tree, so they're all along here. The ones I did just lately, I made them a little darker color so they match the other trees. These over here are up in the mine area, and these are really small, but anyway, you can see them all in there. Oh, I made a hedge out of them. What ran around the Bingham station. So that turned out really pretty good how that little hedge turned out. So I just used this cooler pad. Just bought it at Home Depot. So it's 28 by 34. So it makes a lot of trees. I paid $7.28 for this. Then I just take and cut them in strips. I'll just show you right here. Usually you have to have a sharp pair of scissors. Those are pretty good. I think I borrowed them from my wife's crafts box. Now usually I just cut the whole thing down. So you can see I just did that much of it right now. So I just take them and cut it into kind of a long rectangle there, and then just cut them in the size I want them, and then just cut the corners off. And cut the corners off to a point. See, I'm cutting them the corners off, but then I'm taking them up to a point. And you just keep going around it. Instead of making it square, I round everything up. So I start rounding it and start cutting it to a point. I got a lot faster at this, and this is my first one, so I'll show you a few more. I want the bases the same size as the proportionate to the top, so I keep working on the base down there. Anyway, they kind of look like juniper trees, I think. We have a lot of junipers out here in Utah. I'll show you where I go out to paint it. The backdrop is actually junipers in the backdrop. I'll point that out when I go to paint them. So these are my little trees right here. Stood up there, but the next time I try to stand it up, it won't. Anyway, so that's how you cut them out. So anyway, after I cut them out, I cut out 45 of them. It took about less than 2 hours. You can see I just keep cutting the corners off up to a point. Just keep rounding them off. So I figured that pad, that 28 by 34 inch pad, will make about 250 to 300 trees. I guess it just depends on what size you make them. So just say around 250 trees. So And then the can of paint, you know, $5 can of paint, you could probably take about 2 of them. So that's pretty good, $15 for 250 trees. If you've ever purchased trees at the hobby store, they're kind of pricey. Next time I cut a bunch up, I think I'm going to make them a lot smaller. Now you can see them all sitting over there, the ones I just cut, and then I've cut a new, whole new strand of them. And like I say, I got faster and better at these, but it takes a sharp pair of scissors. Also, there is some fibers that come off of them, so you might want to wear your face mask. I know you have a face mask now. I think everybody does. So there's no warning or anything on the pads. I couldn't see it, but I don't know what it is made out of. Anyway, so these are the cutting them up. And I go get this old box, and this is just a box with toothpicks glued into it. It's really dangerous little thing, so you don't want to bump it. It's got a bunch of, I've used this many times, it's got a bunch of broken ones in there. I actually fixed them all to put new toothpicks in, the ones that are broken and stuff, and to use it again. Haven't used it for quite a while. So you just put them on there, kind of crunchy when you put them on there. Just get ready to paint them. So you can, I kind of left the sound on so you could hear it kind of crunch in there as you put them on. So I fixed up the toothpicks and put all my, spent the time to cut a bunch of them out. And just get ready to paint them so they don't blow away. Now look at this. This kind of looks cool. It kind of looks like the forest in the movie Frozen. I guess if you wanted your layout to look whimsical, I guess you could just leave them like that. I thought that looked really cool, how they look in that blue like that. So if you want a Frozen layout, that's what you do. Now look at me spray paint them. Look, I don't have that on fast motion. That's just me going really fast. So I don't know. I guess I had energy that morning. But see, the backdrop's got those junipers in it. They're skyrockets, and so that's what they kind of represent. And wind was really blowing out there the day I painted them outside, so I just kept turning the box. I didn't walk around or anything, and I didn't want to have the paint come back to me. So, you know, I'm not going to show you too much painting because everybody knows how to paint. And it doesn't hurt to leave a little blue in it. So I just kept turning the box till they all got pretty heavily painted. I guess there's different colors you could get. Like I said, I used a different, darker green on these than I had in the past. This actually matches the trees I have on. Then we'll go put them on the layout. I'll show you what they look like on the layout. You just use hot melt. I used to put toothpicks in them and then glue them in a hole, but you don't need to. They're really lightweight. They just stick there. And actually, once you put them down, you can actually adjust them a little bit or re-glue them. And some of these are even put on the hillside. So it's just a matter of adjusting them. Kind of the worst part is trying to get the strings of glue off the layout after you glue them on. See, I don't think they look too bad. I think they look kind of cool. I mean, if you're first building a layout and you're putting a lot of money into different things, it's a good inexpensive way to put some trees on. And later you can buy the store-bought trees and stuff. So you can see it matches pretty good. Here's another spot. I wanted some more trees. So I just kept gluing them on. Really didn't take long to glue them on. You see them strings come off of there. Well, when you're landscaping your layout, if you're in doubt, you put them in groups of threes. That's what I always think. See, once that tree's up there, I mean, kind of matches the other one. And it's nice to have the variety of some different kinds of trees. So that's my inexpensive trees. So about $15 for 250. So you can't beat that. I don't really think they look too bad. So I'm going back and show you. They're a little darker green. They're right there. All along there. I think I'm going to just go ahead and cut up the rest of that pad and put them all over my layout. That one right there kind of tilted, so I just kind of straightened it back up and didn't have to reglue it, but it's straightened back up. So that's the trees on the Copper King Mine and Railroad. So give it a try.